officially looking down the barrel of a massive 6 to 7 day severe weather marathon slamming the United States. This isn't just a single afternoon of storms, it is a relentless atmospheric siege. What begins as a focused threat in the Great Plains is set to evolve into a sprawling, long-duration setup stretching from the heart of Texas all the way to the upper Mississippi River Valley. For the next week, the atmosphere over the lower 48 is essentially a powder keg. We have a powerful jet stream, surging moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and a stalled frontal boundary that will act as a conveyor belt for supercells. If you live in the central or eastern third of the country, the next 150 hours could be some of the most active weather we've seen all year. Act 2. The Friday warm-up. Our timeline begins on Friday. The Storm Prediction Center has already circled a Level 2, slight risk, for the Central Plains and Midwest. While slight might sound minor, the atmospheric parameters suggest anything but. Cities like Kansas City, Missouri, and Des Moines, Iowa, are right in the bullseye. The primary concern today is energy. The atmosphere is becoming highly unstable, which means any storm that breaks the cap will explode vertically. We are tracking 65 miles per hour damaging winds and, more importantly, massive hail. We're talking about ice the size of baseballs dropping out of the sky at terminal velocity. This is car denting and roof destroying weather. Act 3. The Saturday escalation. By Saturday, the ceiling on this event raises significantly. The risk area expands and intensifies across Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. Why is Saturday different? It's the wind shear. As a low-pressure system begins to deepen, the winds at different levels of the atmosphere start to change speed and direction. This creates vorticity, the literal spinning of the air. By late Saturday afternoon, we expect the hail threat to grow from baseball-sized to teacup-sized. That is 3 inches in diameter. At that size, hail is life-threatening to anyone caught outdoors. Furthermore, the tornado threat begins to ramp up as the low-level jet begins to howl. Act 4. Sunday. The high-end red alert. Sunday is the day that has meteorologists most concerned. This is the red alert day. We are looking at the highest ceiling for dangerous, discrete supercells and significant, long-track tornadoes. The center of the action is a powerful low-pressure system dropping to 994 millibars, centered right over the Kansas-Nebraska border. In the weather world, the lower that pressure goes, the more violent the inflow becomes. If you are in Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, or Kansas, Sunday is the day your weather radio must be on and loud. The low-level jet, a river of fast-moving air just a few thousand feet above our heads, will be cranking out of the south at 50+ knots. This will tilt and spin every storm that forms. We are looking at a high-end potential for nocturnal, nighttime, tornadoes, which are twice as deadly because you can't see them coming. Act 5. Monday. The widespread surge. While Sunday is about precision and intensity, Monday is about sheer scale. This is an incredibly widespread severe weather day. The risk zone is a monster, stretching from the Great Lakes in Michigan all the way down to central Texas. Instead of individual dots on the radar, we expect a massive line of doom a quasi-linear convective system, QLCS. This line will move like a freight train, producing widespread straight-line winds, reaching 70 to 80 miles per hour. Embedded tornadoes, quick-forming spin-ups along the leading edge of the line. Flash flooding, as these storms dump inches of rain in minutes. Act 6. The lingering threat, Tuesday and Wednesday. Even as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, the atmosphere refuses to reset. The system lingers over the Midwest. The primary threat shifts toward the Chicago and Milwaukee corridors. The energy may be slightly lower, but the twist in the atmosphere remains. Localized tornadoes and damaging winds will continue to plague the Great Lakes region before the system finally pushes into the Northeast. Act 7. The science of the low-level jet. Let's talk about the why. The fuel for this entire week is the interaction between two major forces. The Rocky Mountains. As air flows over the mountains, it creates a lee side low, a vacuum that sucks moisture north from the Gulf. The low-level jet. This is the catalyst. By Saturday and Sunday nights, these winds surge. When you have south winds at the surface and west winds aloft, you create directional shear. This shear is the engine. It's what takes a regular thunderstorm and turns it into a rotating supercell. Without this jet, we just have some rain. With it, we have a week-long emergency. Act 8. Preparation and safety. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Fatigue will set in by day 3 or 4. But you cannot let your guard down. Nighttime readiness. Since many of these setups are nocturnal, do not rely on your eyes. Use a NOAA weather radio or an app that can wake you up. The shoes rule. If a tornado warning is issued, put on your shoes immediately. Most injuries happen from walking through debris after the storm. Communication. Check on your friends and family in the high-risk zones. We will be tracking every frame of this 6-day marathon. Stay tuned, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe.